Hello and welcome to my backyard. We'll be starting our four-part series. Today we'll be starting with the feet and then moving our way up the body for the rest of the series. So if you have a towel or a blanket, if you want to grab that, and then a wall space for our ending, or a door or just somewhere you can put your legs up. Other than that, you are welcome to fast forward through this next part if you just want to do the flow. But I encourage you to, just take some time, settle in. Our verse of the day is in Ephesians 11, and it's talking about when you put on the full armor of God, and then after that, after you do everything, just stand. So in focusing on our feet, we're going to be focusing on standing and just being still and noticing our posture in life, towards God. I just felt like it was a really great image of life, especially right now. Getting ready, putting on our boots, getting ready to get back to stuff, putting on our breastplate, getting our sword, getting ready to fight, and God's just like, stand. You've got time right now to just stand. And how sometimes that's the harder battle. We want to just get out there and do. So we're going to first, we've got the next about 5 minutes to just work on our breathing, settle in, to stand, to wait, to lie down actually. So if you're going to grab that towel or blanket, we're going to roll it up. You can have it wider, longer, however you want to, but we're going to place it on our mat with the top, and then we're going to just put it right beneath our shoulder blades. Snuggle up just so your shoulders can still touch the ground. And then we're going to widen our arms, just letting them fall open. Just really opening that chest expansion, reversing a lot of that hunching we do during the day. You can have your knees up or legs long or soles of the feet together. Just focusing on our breath work right now. So staying here for the next 7 rounds of breath. Just settling in, breathing in as deep as you can, inhaling and inflating those lungs, letting that air travel to your belly, inflating that belly like a balloon, letting that air travel to your hips all the way down your legs, imagining so. And then hold it at the bottom of your feet. Feeling that inhale as deep as you can, and then exhale. Imagine that air traveling from your feet through your legs, your hips, your belly button. Comes back down, lands softly near your spine, and your ribs knit back together, pressing the air out of your lungs, through your throat, and out of your mouth. And maybe continue with those long, deep breaths for the next 6 breaths. Or maybe you're breathing into your nose and just filling up your chest cavity or your stomach, or trying to send the air up to your head, relaxing your facial muscles. So our purpose here today on the mat is to create space, to create stillness, to realize that sometimes it's okay, it's hard, but it's really good to just stand, to be still, to stick in things and postures, and to be in that moment. I love the imagery of creating space for the Spirit to hover. I just pictured Genesis and the chaos, this vast expanse, this churning water imagery, and then the Spirit just hovering, fluttering over this chaos. And there's just something beautiful in just this picture of just hovering, of the tension before creation. And so maybe that's this moment. Maybe that's this week or this season, is just feeling the chaos in your soul, and then also feeling this hovering tension and energy of the Holy Spirit, of the Lord that wants to bring creation out of this chaos, bring new life out of this chaos. And just thinking of our verse, there's not much we do. It's the Spirit that's hovering and then pulls out. So after you've done everything, after you've dressed in this breastplate and these shoes and these shin straps and this belt, just stand. Because in so many of the battles in the Bible, sometimes they're clanging pots, they're marching around a city, and things just collapse. And it's hard for us to do that. It's hard for us to let God get the glory. To do what He's actually calling us to do, which is sometimes doing nothing except checking our posture, standing firm. Checking our posture from the ground up, our posture towards Him, towards life. So continuing that breath cycle, last breath cycle. If you need more breath here and you just want to relax the rest of class, you can stay in any posture. You can stay here or child's pose. Just relaxing and standing, stilling yourself for a couple moments even. Just create space for the Spirit to hover, for your soul to be in chaos still. You're not needing to fix it, and to just stand firm. If you want to move on, taking in the last inhale, breathing in deep, filling up your lungs, your belly, holding it, and then exhale, belly button drops down towards your spine, pressing the air towards your lungs, your ribs knit together, pressing the air out of your lungs through your throat and out of your mouth. And then just coming off to the side, off that towel, and then coming up to sit towards the front of your mat. Okay, so you guys, if you want a towelette or anything to cleanse your feet, sometimes that's a ritual in itself. Of just we often just take time to just cleanse our feet. Maybe that's part of your practice today. If not, we're going to just gently massage the arches of our foot with our thumb. So just taking your thumb from the base of your big toe and just walking it down that arch, that inner arch. Just picking up the feet, giving them some love. And then I just want you to press on the base of your big toe, and then the base of your little toe separately, and then the base of your heel, maybe both sides of your heel. And these are going to be the four corners of your feet that I'm going to be talking about putting pressure on. So from here, coming up onto your knees, your toes are going to curl underneath you. You're just going to sit back. If you want your towel for this, you can place your towel underneath your knees. That'll help posture you up a little bit more so there's less pressure on your feet. If you want your toes curled under, this isn't a comfortable pose for anybody that I know. And that's kind of the point. Point is getting to the discomfort, putting on all your armor in the heat, and then just standing firm. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not that you don't have to do any work. You still have to check your alignment, put on all that armor, and then stand firm and wait. You can lean your weight back if you're not feeling it much, or forward if it's a little too much. Just trying to be there. Focusing on your breath. Noticing the sensation in your feet, but not judging it. There's a connective band that goes from the base of your feet through your core and all the way to your tongue. So in stretching out the soles of our feet, we're kind of just stretching out that whole connective tissue. Leaning forward, coming onto your hands, and then flip your toes under, softly and carefully transitioning. Again, I think a towel is really good for this one. Your toes are underneath you. Heels underneath you, not splaying out. Just stretching out that front of those feet. Maybe leaning back a little more. You can find some movement in these postures, but also just staying there, being there. From here, coming up, and we're going to do one more just alignment thing before we move on. You're going to fold up your towel and place it between your feet. And then you can sit up or you can lie down for this one. I'm going to sit up so the transition's a little smoother. But you're going to just bring your heels as close as you can while they're touching the towel, and then try to bring your big toes to touch. So the effort here is trying to bring those big toes to touch. And then feel how your legs, your thighs are kind of inner spiraling. You can almost notice your knees are shifting a little bit in, but your feet are almost staying where they're at. It's just that pressure of it, and then your thighs are spiraling in. So that inner thigh spiraling towards the ground, outer thighs spiraling up. Feel how that activates your core too. So feet are almost planted, and then we have that inner spiraling of the thigh. So we'll talk about that later. Inner spiraling of the thigh. Engaging that core. And then release that blanket. You can stay in there a little bit more if you want to. And then come up onto your hands and knees. We'll do a couple cat-cows here, just waking up the body. Your hand is going to be underneath your shoulder, knees underneath your hips. And then for this first one, your toes are going to be tucked under. Your belly's going to drop, head up, tail up. Really pressing through those feet too, through those palm of those hands. Chest comes through. And inhaling. And then on your exhale, rounding your spine. Pressing through those palms. Shoulder blades come away from each other. And then tops of the feet are going to flip, pressing into the ground. And then inhaling to your cow, belly drops, tail up, head up. Pulling through those hands, pressing through the bottom, those toes of those feet. And then exhale, rounding cat. Belly button towards the sky, towards your spine. Tops of the feet pressing into the earth, palms pressing into the earth, shoulder blades away from each other. Then come back to neutral. Our first down dog, we're actually going to grip the outside of our mat. So hold on to the outside of your mat. You're going to flip those toes under and then send your hips up and back. You can have those knees bent a little bit more. You want the weight of your body in your legs. This is a lower body posture, but a lot of times we have our weight up in our hands. So pressing back, that chest coming towards those legs. Head hangs through those arms, and then try to bring those shoulders away from your ears. Good. And then if your knees are really bent, try to straighten them a little bit more. Still keeping that hinge at those hips. And then try to spiral your thighs inwards like we just did. Keeping those toes where they're at, but then spiraling those legs a little bit. And then from there, bend your right knee towards your chest. And flex that foot. Just stretching out that foot. And then switch. Left foot towards your chest. Maybe straightening that right leg a little bit more. Pressing your chest towards that left leg. And then switching, opening up the bottom of the feet, the calf. The whole back of the leg. And then relaxing here. Coming back onto those knees. We're going to put our left foot in a line with our body, and our right foot's going to go on top of that bottom of that left arch. Our knees are going to be a little bit closer together than super wide, and we're going to come back to sit. If this hurts really bad on your arch, put the pressure more in your hands. The more you put in your foot, stamping down, and your whole body being vertical over that foot, the more you're going to feel that little massage in the arch of your left foot, it should be. So top of that right foot, that bony part of that right foot is pressing in to that left arch. Just massaging it out. You can stay here again as long as you want, or coming out and then switching your feet. Just waking up that arch. Again, if you want to pause anything and stay longer, I really encourage that. I encourage taking a long time in these postures, standing firm in the uncomfortable, especially if it's uncomfortable and it feels like a release afterwards. And then from here, you're going to take those feet apart, toes touching, heels apart, knees as wide as your mat. Sit those hips back and down, and then your arms are going to come forward, forehead to the ground. Really stretching out those arms as long as you can, maybe crawling them forward. And once you get forward as much as you can, pressing through those palms so you're shifting your weight back towards your heels. Straight from the side. Really long through that chest, and then pressing so that your glutes meet your heels. Softening through that hip crease, trying to bring that belly down closer to the ground. Then if you want to feel some stretch in your triceps, bring your hands to a prayer position, pressing your palms together, and then just bringing them over your head. Like a little shark fin. One more breath cycle here, breathing in deeply, finding length through your whole spine, and exhaling. Belly button towards your spine, your hips shift back towards your heels. Next inhale, coming forward, weight comes forward onto those palms, bringing those knees back together again. And then hands plant under your shoulders, toes slip under, and coming to a normal down dog this time. Hips coming up, back. Again, you can bend those knees, bringing your weight back more. Just trying to keep that hinge in those hips. Inhaling here, looking towards the top of your mat. Exhaling, tiptoeing your toes to meet your hands. Forward fold, letting everything hang. And again, keep your feet planted and try to do that inner spiral of those thighs. This will open up the back body a little bit towards your sacrum so that you can just hinge a little bit more. Maybe your right hand goes into your left elbow, left hand to your right elbow, and then let your head hang in this little window you've created, nodding yes and no and yes again, just letting that cervical spine decompress. Inhale, halfway lift, palms on shins or thighs, creating an L shape with your body. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, palms press into the mat, coming back into a plank. If you want to skip this and go straight to your down dog, you can. Otherwise, coming onto your toes, bending your elbows, lowering halfway, flipping your toes, pressing to the tops of your feet, pressing through your palms, opening up that chest in your up dog. Exhaling, flipping those toes under your hips, up and back into your down dog. Again, inner spiral of those thighs, letting those hips crease a little bit more. Hinging at those hips. Inhale, looking up towards your hands. Walk, step, or hop to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring your toes to touch, heels slightly apart. And then slide your fingertips alongside the mat, send your hips back and down into your chair pose. Arms continuing up till they're by your ears, and then send your shoulders away from your ears. Inhaling, exhaling, sending your weight back towards your heels, lifting those toes and spreading them wide. And then exhaling, arms are going to come parallel to your shoulder length, or I guess just in line with your shoulders. Inhale in here, and then on your exhale, weight comes forward into the balls of those feet, coming up off those heels. And then sink a little bit lower in your hips. Holding here, really engaging. Those knees are pressing towards each other, maybe looking towards your palms. And then exhale, heels come down, coming all the way up. Looking up towards your arms. And then exhale, chin comes down towards your chest. One more. Looking up towards your arms, chin comes down towards your chest. And then chin is just in line so that you're looking straight out. And then open up your arms to a goal post. And then lean your chin up, chest up, hips forward. And that stretch in that front body. Inhale, coming up. And then exhale, forward fold. Then from this forward fold, you're going to plant your hands, send your feet back into your downward dog, lift your right leg up, right knee bends, and then draw circles with your right foot. One direction, then the other direction. And then bring your right knee into your chest towards your nose, and then set it through for your low lunge. Locate yourself here. And then inhale, lifting up. You're going to squeeze those inner thighs together. Your right hip's going to come back a little bit more. Left hip forward, so they're parallel to each other, to the front of your mat. And then press into the ball of that right foot, the heel of that right foot, and ball of that left foot. Then try to straighten out that left leg a little bit more. Arms are going to come up. Maybe even trying that back bend that we just did, opening up those arms, bringing that chest up, chin up, and then come back up. And then exhale, you're going to windmill your left arm back, right arm forward. I'll show you from the other side. Left arm back, right arm forward, coming into your warrior two. You're going to put your pressure in that right ball of that foot, right heel of that foot, I keep saying ball, and the pinky edge of that left foot. You're trying to split the mat apart, but also pull your legs close together. From here, your left arm's pulling back like someone's pulling you, and then your right arm's pulling you. So they're about even tug of war. Your chest is faced to the side, same as your hips, and you're looking over that right hand. Inhaling here, exhale your left hand down to your thigh, calf, or behind your back. Right arm up, or right hand cradles your skull, and then looking up towards the sky, keeping that bend in that right knee still. Doing that stretch in that whole right side of your body. Inhale, coming back to that warrior two. Exhale, tick-tock forward, right arm inside that right leg, left arm up. You can have that right arm inside that right knee, or on that right knee. And then you can look up to that left hand if you want to. Doing that stretch. And then exhale, place that left hand down by that right foot, framing that right foot. And then bring that right foot back to meet that left foot. Come into your down dog on the other side. Stay here in this down dog. I'm going to flip so that you can see me from the other side. Inhale, lift that left leg up. Left knee bends, drawing circles one direction with that ankle. And the other, the knee in towards your chest. And then through your palms. Planting it here. Then inhaling, coming up, squeezing those inner thighs together. Right hip forward, left hip back. Weights in that heel of that left foot, ball of that right foot, pressing that right foot long and strong. So instead of bending it, pressing it long. That heel shooting back towards the back of the room, keeping that 90-degree bend in that left leg still. Inhaling here, maybe doing that back bend, then back up, and then right arm windmills back, left arm forward. Again, pinky edge of that right foot, left ball of that foot, like they're pulling the mat together and also pushing it apart. Right arm back, left arm forward, and then looking over that left hand. Inhaling here, exhale, reversing your warrior, right hand behind your back or on your thigh or calf, left arm up, and cradling that skull maybe. Keeping that bend in that left foot, left knee. And then exhale, coming back to that warrior two. Inhaling here, exhale, tick-tock forward, left arm inside that left leg, right arm up, or left arm down two on the ground. Still keeping weight in that right back foot, pinky edge. You're pulling those feet together. And then exhale, right hand by that left foot. And we're just gonna bring that right foot to meet that left foot. Letting everything hang. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, arms come wide, coming all the way up to stand. We're just checking our postural alignment at first. So our feet are down. We're gonna lift up our toes, spread them as wide as you can, and then sit them down gently. Then your feet are gonna be maybe a little narrower than your hips, depends. Maybe they're as wide as your hips. And you're gonna just look at the inner arch of your foot. You're gonna send a little bit more weight to your pinky edge and imagine the inner arch of your foot is just traveling up. There's like, you have a string attached to the inner arch of your foot and you're pulling up. You can feel it come across to your inner knee, inner thigh, up to your hips. So you're just pulling up a little bit. And then feel how that puts tension, almost like you're spreading your feet apart with that pinky edge. It's opening up those hips a little bit. And then do that same internal rotation, so keeping your feet exactly where they are. Internally rotate those thighs like we did a couple times so far. So the inner thigh is facing more towards the back of the room, outer thigh forward. Feel how that engages your core. Check to make sure your pelvis isn't tilted back forward too much. That your ribs together, palms by your sides, lift your shoulders up, shrug them towards your ears, and then settle them back and down. The back of your head, top of your head, where my bun is, and if you had a bun where it would be, just send that shooting up to the sky. So this is correct postural alignment. I don't think I ever stand in this alignment unless I'm in a yoga class or unless I'm thinking about it very, very strongly. So maybe thinking about how you take that off your mat, maybe in your body, literally figuring out how to do more correct postural alignment and how different this feels than your normal, and thinking about also your postural alignment just with God, with life, with family, with new situations. How are you postured? And maybe you don't even know what the correct postural alignment is yet. So figuring that for each new thing that comes. So from here, inhaling, arms come up, palms to touch. And then exhale, arms come open and wide. We're going to bring our right foot. You can kickstand it here, or you can come to the inner left calf or the inner left leg. You're going to, if you're kickstanding, you can just have it here. If you have it on your calf, just make sure it's not on your knee. Same with your inner leg. And you're going to just press that right foot as strongly as you can into that left leg. That left leg's going to press into that right foot. And then your left foot's going to press straight down. So you've got a lot of things stabilizing you. Or not stabilizing you. It's a little bit of a rough morning here, I guess. Just focusing on those feet. And then focus on those four corners of the feet that I talked about earlier. The base of the big toe, base of the pinky toe, and then the two sides of the heel on both feet. Your right foot stamping into your left leg and your left foot stamping into the ground. Just focus all of those four corners of your foot pressed evenly into those spaces. Your hands can come by your side if you want more of a balance posture. Your arms can come up. If you're not feeling super balanced, hands can come to first center. Again, pressing that left foot into the ground, right foot into that left leg. Then from here, inhaling, bringing that right leg up. I'm going to show you from the side. There's not room behind me. Keeping that right foot up, and then exhale, send that right leg behind you. Hands can come behind you or to prayer center for your airplane. Trying to bring that right hip down. Left foot or right foot is flexed towards you. Heel comes up towards the sky. Left foot's pressing into the ground strongly. Long line of energy from your right heel to the top of your head, and from your left heel up to your hip. Inhaling here, staying here as ever long as you want to. One more breath maybe.
Exhale, place that right foot by that left foot. And then just let it hang. Just noticing that left ankle stability, maybe that calf a little bit. And then inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands come down by your sides. And then same thing, other side. Right foot stamping into the ground. Left foot, right calf, or right inner leg. Again, pressing left foot into that right leg down into the ground. Four corners of that foot. Trying to open up this left hip too. Hands can come by your side, or up, or to prayer center. So they can wiggle around. If you're finding it super easy to balance today, you can close your eyes. Finding stillness in the posture. Being in the uncomfortable, standing firm. And then again, inhaling, bringing that left knee up. I have to switch so you can see it from the side. Left knee's up, and then send it back, leading with your heel up towards the sky. And move back. Arms behind you or to prayer center. Lifting with that left heel. Left inner thigh spirals up. Left hip closer to the ground. One more breath. And then exhale, left foot joins the right and just forward fold. A little hard early in the morning. Just forward folding, letting everything hang. Inhaling, exhaling. Okay, time for 1 minute of abs, and then we'll go straight to the wall and just relax. So just to engage our core a little bit more, we're going to come just into some bicycles. So right elbow, left knee, left elbow, right knee. Just keep it here. Extending the leg long and strong. Try to bring your elbow towards your knee instead of your knee to your elbow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ending with your left elbow, right knee. Holding your torso here and then extending that leg away, down, up, and then back. Out, down, up, back in towards your elbow. Staying same side. 3. Inhaling out, down, exhaling up, back. 2, 1. Switching sides. Right elbow, left knee. Out, down, back, up. Out, down, up, back. Out, down, up, back. 3. Back. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling on the out, exhaling on the back in. Last one. And then full body stretch. Then bring yourself up. You're going to come as close to the wall as you can. Then you're just going to pivot so that your legs slide up and your back down on the mat. And if you need to scoot a little bit closer to the wall, just bringing your legs up. Just feeling that release from this slight inversion. Just letting gravity do the work of helping circulate your blood. Gravity often pulls our blood down to our feet, and it's our muscles' job to push it back up to our heart. So just letting gravity do the work this time. can just stay here. If you want to move with me, you're going to flex your right toe towards your right shin, and then point your left toes towards the ceiling. And then switch. Right toes point, left toes flex towards you. Then switch slowly so you don't cramp. The toes that are flexed towards you are going to spread apart. Toes away from you that are pointed are going to just curl together. And find stillness here. And then bring the big toes to touch. And feel that inner spiral further of those inner thighs. You're going to bring your left ankle on the top of your right knee. Flex those left toes towards your left shin, and then try just with your musculature to press your left knee towards the wall. That right leg's extended at this point, but slowly slide it down the wall until you feel a good stretch in that left hip. Still flexing those left toes towards your shin. Maybe rocking side to side to get a little movement in your legs and your hips. And you can place your hand on your inner thigh, pressing that knee a little bit more towards the wall. That inner left thigh. Bring that foot down lower if you want to. Just keeping your whole back on the ground still. So not lifting up that lower spine. Remembering your breath. Last inhale, last exhale. Then slide that right heel back up. Left heel joins that right. And then your right ankle is going to go on top of your left leg. Right toes towards your right shin. Just using that musculature to press that right knee towards the wall. And then slide that left leg down. Walking side to side maybe, getting a little movement before you find that stillness. Movement in that hip joint to loosen it up a little bit. And then hand can come on the inside of that right thigh. Still right toes flex towards your right shin. Trying to press the lower back into the ground too. Left heel slides up the wall, right heel joins. And then letting your legs, your toes fall out to the side, so external rotation of the legs. And then let your legs slide down the wall out to the sides. Again, not straining too much, but letting gravity do the work. Hands come to the outer thighs, pressing those legs up again. And then the palms of your feet are going to touch, and you're going to slide them down the wall as much as you want to. Trying to bring those pinky edges of those feet together, and the arches of the feet are going to spread open a little bit more. Hands can come to the inner thighs, pressing them open, opening up those hips a little bit. Inhaling And exhaling, hands come to the outer thighs, closing up those legs, and then scooting back until your feet are no longer touching the wall. I'm going to come to the side just so you can see me. You're long on your mat, and then you're going to bring your right or your left knee into your chest. Bring it as close to your armpit as you can. Left arm comes wide to a T position. Nose faces towards that left side. Right hand on the outside of that left thigh, and we're going to come into a spinal twist. So pulling that left knee towards that right side. Try and keep that left shoulder blade on the ground, twisting at that thoracic spine. Inhaling, finding the length in your spine. Exhaling, belly button towards your spine, feeling that twist. You need to scoot your hips an inch to your left so they're underneath your shoulders. You might feel a little bit more of a twist. Then release, bring both knees into your chest. Send your left leg long, right knee, pull it tightly towards your right armpit. Left hand to the outside of your right leg, right arm comes wide to a T position, nose follows that. And press weight into your left palm, pulling that right knee over towards your left side. Right shoulder blade remains on the ground. And that twist in your thoracic. Again, you can shift your hips underneath you a little bit more towards the right. Bring your knees into your chest. Give them one last final squeeze. Your forehead's going to come towards your knees, tight ball. And then let everything go. Legs come long, palms by your hips. Your heels are in alignment with your hips. And then you're going to just let your toes fall out to the side. External rotation in those hips, just releasing everything. Palms by your side, palms facing up. Press the backs of your arms into the ground and snuggle those shoulder blades in together towards each other. Creating a little shelf for your heart, almost like we did with that blanket earlier, just expanding through that chest. And then sending that top of your head, where your bun would be, towards the top of the mat. Relaxing that jaw. Then inhaling, filling up your lungs, belly inflates like a balloon. Sending that air, imagine it sending it to your toes, wiggling your toes. And then exhaling air from your toes through your body. Belly deflates, chest deflates, air out of your lungs and throat. Imagine sending it to your knees this time, inhaling, flexing those quads. And then exhaling, air travels from your legs to your hips, belly, chest, out of your mouth. Inhaling fully to your lungs, belly, to that hip area. Feeling those hips open a little bit more, external rotation. And then exhale, release. To your belly, inflating your belly fully. Chest, and then pressing that belly button towards your spine. Chest compress, pressing the air out of your lungs through your throat. And inflating your chest as much as you can. Holding here. Feeling those intercostal muscles, the muscle between each rib, lengthen, stretch. As you breathe in as deep as you can and hold. And then exhale, knit those ribs together, pressing the air out of your lungs. Inhaling, filling up your lungs, letting that air spill into your arms and fingers, wiggling your fingers. Feeling it open up your collarbones towards the side of the room, and then exhale, release that. Inhale to your head space. I like to picture my eyes closed. They call it your third eye center, so just focusing on the space between your eyebrows and just finding space there, relaxing any furrow of the brow. I like to imagine my eyes opening but keeping them closed, so just finding space in that head area by relaxing all those muscles. And then exhale air out of your nose and mouth. Final breath to the top of your head. Finding length through your whole spine and holding here. Exhale, release. From here, you can end your practice however you want to. If you want to stay here once your body's relaxed, try to relax your mind. Maybe focus on postural alignment or focus on standing firm in something that you've already gotten dressed for. Maybe that's work, maybe that's your kids staying home more, maybe that's family situations or not being able to go and do the things you want to do. After everything, stand firm. I'm going to play a song, one you all probably know. Maybe just focus on the imagery of it. Imagery of the valley of the shadow of death, of a banquet spread before you in the presence of your enemies. How just standing firm in those moments. Maybe sitting down at that banquet. And all you want to do is fight those enemies. Where can you find spaces and expanses that the Lord's put before you?
Path of righteousness. You prepare a table in the presence of my foes, and you anoint my head, and my cup it overflows, and surely I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Even though I walk through the valley of shadow and death, presence of my foes, and you anoint my head, and my cup it overflows, and surely I will dwell in the house afraid. And whom shall I fear? Of whom shall I be afraid? And you prepare a table in the presence of my foes, and you anoint my head, and my cup it overflows, and surely I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And surely I will dwell.
From here, you're going to roll onto your favorite side. Maybe stay there for a little bit, creating a pillow with your arm underneath you, top arms draped over you, and when you're ready, pressing that top arm into the ground and coming to sit. Again, you can skip, you can end wherever you want to, but if you want to finish this out, you're going to put your right hand by your right glute and then walk it out about 6 inches, and then bend that right elbow. And send that left arm over. And that stretching that left side body, trying to spin that right side of your ribs up towards the sky. And then exhale, bringing that arm forward, that hand to graze the ground, coming over to your left side, right arm up and over, and then bending through that left elbow. Feeling that stretch through that right side, and then coming forward. Maybe just ending out, giving thanks for our bodies that move, for our feet, for the place that we're planted in Santa Barbara, for the ability to have time to reflect on our posture, on where we are standing, on the armor we have on and how we need to adjust it maybe, and on the fact that he goes before us and he fights for us. And sometimes all we need to do is stand. Sometimes that's harder to do, but may he have the glory in that battle. However you want to end this, please end it. You can pause it. You can do whatever. I hope you have a fantastic day. And I will see you for part 2. Maybe not at my house.